And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gulfstream Park. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Couple of minutes after 11. Good morning, everybody. Ron and Brian here for you on Gulfstream today. Samantha will be joining us throughout the afternoon. Here we go. We're starting with our Chamber of Commerce days here in South Florida. You know, we've had a lot of rain. Of course, we're off the turf today, but Brian, doesn't get much better than this.
It's beautiful
70s
out
in
there.
the morning, 82 in the afternoon.
Yeah, we like that. It's beautiful out there. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Today we're going to start with a fast main track. Obviously, as we announced yesterday and last night, we're off the turf. You saw we had to cancel on Friday. Got more rain yesterday, of course, but a fast main track. So great job by Kenny and the crew and that big rainbow coming at you today in race number 5.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking speed's going to be good today. You can mark this down. I'm thinking speed.
All
When,
right.
you know, after that main track gets pounded, oh, yeah, we got the mandatory pay on the Rainbow 6. Races 5 through 10, both Brian, myself, and Samantha will have tickets to show you throughout the afternoon. Brian and I did a video. It's online right now, and we sort of were guessing when we did it that we'd be off the turf, so it sort of worked out okay.
We had a pretty good feeling about that. Why? Because we were here on Friday when all, when all hell broke loose. Hey, friends, best of luck to everybody up north, too. Not canceled today in that crazy storm, so hopefully everybody's safe and sound, but you got a great day right behind us here.
Yeah, let's get right to it, too. We got race number 1 this afternoon is going to be, this one is going to be 7.5, originally going to be 7.5 furlongs on the turf, now 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. It's a maiden claimer, and these are maiden fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. As I mentioned, 170. We're going to scratch the 5, sound it out. And Brian's got a pick 5 ticket here, and we'll show you Samantha's Tropical Tapeta pick 3 throughout the afternoon. But early pick 5 first.
There we go. $24. A couple of short price singles. That's not going to be the case later on, but a couple short price singles early in this sequence. Race number 4 and 5, I go 4 deep. Race number 4, that's the 8 on top, Restray. And in race number 5 to end that and to kick off the rainbow, on the inside at a price with Heather Smullen and Diamond's Honor.
That is the exact 4 horses I used in the Rainbow
Yeah, you
6
mentioned that horse too. I remember yesterday. So
Diamond's
you're,
Honor,
yeah.
I got him in there. So getting back, Samantha's ticket will
There we go.
throw it. Now you have to stick around all day. It's race 1, race 7, race 10. She's singling right here with Starship Discovery. Boy, did I love that horse on the turf. Still going to be the one to beat on the Tabeta. In race number 7, well, let me turn all those pages. She's got 3, 7, and 10. could be the logical ones. You and I have some interest in the number 1 Abramovich on the inside. And in race number 10, let's see, I think those are the logical ones, 3, 7, and 9 in my estimation. 3 being the top one, Titaroa, looks the one to beat, even though that was moved to the Tapita from the turf.
Big move up on that 7 horse. We'll talk about it.
Getting to this race here, which Starship Discovery, is that where you started, Brian?
Yeah.
It's hard not to return from the extended layoff, finish that useful stalk to pace forward against this level of competition that was going around 2 turns. And I wrote my analysis, this daughter of Mucho Macho Man figures on whatever surface they were going to run this one on.
Yeah, remember you had this horse on debut at 24-1? Oh, just couldn't get there for you. I agree with everything you said, Ron. She was the horse to beat on turf. She's the horse to beat on Tapita. And she's lightly raced, and now that comeback is in the rearview mirror. So she's, to me, only moving forward, and she ran pretty okay in that comeback, too.
And this is Steve Dwoskin's game.
Yep.
Second off the bench type thing. He does an excellent job. What a great year he's had with the limited amount of starters that he
I was
had.
on vacation. He got Choose Joy to come back off of what seemed like about a 4.5-year layoff. What a job.
I kept telling Smith that this horse is going to run well, and and nobody was in. He just comes flying down the stretch to win it there. What about the number 8 horse in here, Colorful Lady, on the outside for Kent Sweezy?
Yeah, I think this is now the other horse to beat in here. The homebred for Whisper Hill was a Tapita runner in February for Todd Pletcher against much, much better in the thick of the championship meet. Kent takes a lot of these Whisper Hill horses, and now blinkers come off, freshened up a little bit. Certainly looks like she's working well. Well, listen, this monster pedigree is clearly not going to play out if she's been in for 35 last start and today. But I think she's a big threat.
Number 2 horse in here, Souffle on fire, against the whole kitchen sink angle today. They're trying everything with this horse today. They're going to try 2 turns. They're going to try Tapita. Originally, they were going to try the turf. It's, Safi Joseph Jr. See what this horse does today.
Yeah, I would take a wait-and-see approach, but maybe she wakes up with Tapita. Maybe she wakes up with another turn. Maybe she wakes up with the experience edge.
The old kitchen sink, throwing everything at that horse. See what happens here. Race number 2 this afternoon, 6 furlongs. These are maiden claimers, fillies, 2-year-olds. Nice full field of 10 in here, Brian. And how did you see it go? You are the number 5. This is one of your singles,
yeah,
right?
This is my best bet of the day. It's early pick 4 as well. I'll just send that ticket out later. It's a run back. But yeah, Steve Glaceris, what a year Steve is having. An authentic wave. They tried her twice in maiden special weight company. She's not a maiden special weight horse. Now, with that being said, she ran against some good ones. You see how live the Vita Mia race is. She came back to run second in a stakes for De La Cerda. So that was a good effort. A buzzsaw beats her on debut. Now it's the biggest drop in racing. She's shown speed in the past where she can be close enough on the cutback here. And this is just Steve doing his thing on a biggest drop in all of racing.
Never mind, Vita Mia, Hot Diva came back to win. Bert's Naughty Girl came back to win. So one of those key races here. I've got a little further down because, Brian, I like the number 7, Lady Lullaby, who's turning back to 3/4. Adding blinkers, responded to the drop with that second. It's Safi. He's 19% with first-time blinkers. I just thought he was the one to beat.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, Ron. She woke up, remember the stat for Turf Sprinters debuting, no good. I think she's just not much of anything, but that was a decent enough race where she's got a shot in here.
She's got a shot in race number 2. Going to race number 3 this afternoon, mile and 70 yards on the Tapita. These are claimers, and they are 3-year-olds and up, which you've never won 2 in life. We're going to scratch the inside horse, Eliano Forever, one of the horses I did have on my ticket.
Big scratch.
Yeah, big scratch. But J Square, let's show that replay quickly of, I think, the one to beat all along.
All along, and she was 7-5 with a 2-1 in the race. The 2-1's out of the race. Don't be surprised if she's sitting up there at about 2 or 3-5 at post time, because this is the only time she's been on Tapita. It was last August, okay? So she's got that to deal with, but she got the comeback out of the way last time, and you can see her just humming on the front end on the Tapita. And as Ronnie started this show, he said on the record, I think speed's going to be pretty good today. We've gotten rain. We know how that works out. It can tighten the Tapita up. Yeah, she's going to be a real problem. Ron, first time gelding as well.
Yeah, so first time gelding, J Square, certainly the one to beat there. Maybe you throw like Will of a Warrior on the ticket too. Going to break from the outside, devoid of much speed, so maybe clunk up for part of the Trier Super or something like that.
Had 1 for 17. You just got to think, he's not a win candidate, but he's a big player underneath for sure. Yeah,
and last run, horse you might want to do. But Benny Kelly has the horse. I think J Squared, as you mentioned, single Rooney for race number 3. Race number 4 this afternoon, mile 70 yards on the Tapeta Maiden Claimers. They are 2-year-olds. We're going to scratch the 5-Star Prince in here. And, Brian, you went with the number 8 horse in here, and that's Ristre. And what'd you see with this horse? I had a little further down on my ticket.
Well, Ronald Coy's going really, really good right now, and this is a horse that was in the mud last time, didn't really do a lot or much of anything, but I think now with a son of Gunnevera is going to finally run 2 turns. The last thing Gunnevera ever did in a great career for Antonio Sano was run 5.5, 6 furlongs. No way. He wanted to run all day. We get an extra turn now to work with. Maybe that's the wake-up, Ron.
I went with the horse you have in second. That's Techno Music Drop. Stretches out around 2 turns on the all-weather, looking to make amends. 4th was the even money favorite that day, going 6.5. It's Victor Barboza. He's good. 2 sprints to a route. He's like over 20%. Yeah. So I figured that horse can run well. Tassie Cat is another one. Tassie Tap for Victor Barboza, the other Victor. See how he runs. But yeah. I think your horse is a major player along with Cadence in there.
Yeah, those are the ones I would think. It's a middle pick 4 as well, and it brings you up to a break and the Rainbow coming back, too.
Let's check it out.
Yeah. You can see that little. We'll show that middle pick 4, guys, real quick.
We're going to show that quick?
Yeah, real quick. We'll show. There we go, $36. Now, the big thing here about the 3 of these 4 races are in the Rainbow 6, so we'll get back and talk about that. This middle, they paid very healthy the other day, too, these kind of middle bets that maybe fall through the cracks a little bit.
Yeah, I had paid $126 for a $16 ticket.
There you go.
And all you had to get was Reza Rolex yesterday.
I mean, it was really a pick 3.
Yeah.
So there you
go. That horse is something else.
Yes. 9 for 12 now on the Tapeta. Remarkable.
In those things. So what do you got?
Well, we're going to go spreading a little bit. Yeah. We'll take the break because when we come back, we've got Rainbow stuff galore, 3 tickets. It's a mandatory payout. We've got a lot to cover. Looking forward to it, Ron.
Well, let's take that break. Come back. We'll take a little sip of water and delve into the Rainbow 6.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
3 minutes after 12. Did I get it right now?
You got it right this time.
5th race, 7 furlongs, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 3, Lupetta Jack. And as we've been saying all morning long, the Rainbow 6 is going to kick off. Quickly show you my ticket. We'll go to Brian's and then Samantha's. Of course, Samantha will be up here throughout the afternoon telling you about her ticket at length. This is mine, 86.40. As I mentioned to Brian, I used the same 4 you did. We'll talk about that race. Race number 6, I like Venezuelan Hope in there for Victor Barboza, but I took some horses. Race number 7, Abramovich is my long shot today, but I also used Brigade Commander and the number 7 horse, Paris Surprise, who's got some speed. Race number 8, just 2 for me. Navy Cross, race number 7, I went 3 deep in it. Race number 8 is where I went 2 deep. Navy Cross in there and Nate the Great in there. I got to change that around. I screwed that up a little bit. My top pick should be, oh, no, right. KC Chief is my top pick. That's my best bet. That's right. Race number 9, 3 deep for me. My top pick is the 2 Militia. That one's wide open. And in the last race, boy, we talked about this yesterday, Brian, when we did that video. If you don't have Tintaroa, if Tintaroa don't win, anybody can win.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
86.40,
totally.
Which is way over 43.20.
Some might say double 43.20. Ron,
it is.
Yeah, it is double. Take a look at my ticket. Same 4 as Ronnie in this opening leg. I'm just a little more expensive. Race number 6, I've got the 11. I'm going to also use the old Titan, who kind of has been okay under the radar and will be a big price. That's the 8 horse. Race number 7, I wanted to play Abramovich on the turf. He's a way shorter price on the Tapeta. He's also a big player. That's the 1. In race number 8, I needed a single. I just have to be honest here. I needed a single, so it's an 8 the Great, Ron. I wanted to go 4 deep in here. I'm not going to give out a $432 Rainbow 6. And why did I have to get a single? Because everybody's single in race 9 scratch. The scratcher Broderie blows race 9 up. I, too, have the 2 Militia on top. In race number 10, I do still think the race goes through the 3 Tinta Roja, but the big move up on the surface switch is clearly the 7, and that's Let's Dance Again. There's a $108 Rainbow 6 ticket.
We'll show you a video of that horse a little later on. Getting back to this 5th race, we're opening it up with a 5-horse field because of that 1 scratch in it, Brian. Samantha.
Samantha.
Forgetting Samantha. $160, boy. She's opening up a bankroll today. We'll talk about the 5th. Lots of coverage in 6 and 7. Get down to race number 10. That's what I want to see, where I'm so weak. She's got the 7 and the 9, and that's Let's Dance Again, who you mentioned, and Trompetta.
Yeah, playing against Tinta Roja. I don't have a huge problem with that. She's got very sketchy form, and she'll be a short number. 160. Going to be a fun rainbow today.
Woo! A lot of Rainbow 6 tickets there, boy. I was jumping all over the place. I was so excited. I was trying to get everything and all at once. All right, Diamond's Honor. You got it on top. Well, what's the story? I mean, I used the horse, too, because I didn't want to get beat by this horse.
Yeah, there's really no story. Well, the story is the other horses, and we'll show you them in a second. But Diamond's Honor, Heather Smullen's all of a sudden going really, really good. She got Wooten in the Florida Sire Stakes on Saturday, a big hitter in that spot there. Diamond's Honor, chased and tired on debut on the Tapeta, certainly bred top and bottom for the main track. The rail's a little sticky, but this horse is going to improve. This horse has some speed, and I am not scared of anybody in this spot. So I'm going to take a shot at a price, Ron.
Well, let's show the video of the horse I have on top, Sapphire Girl, and the number 2, Queen McKenzie. We'll take a look at those 2.
So the key here is this is the debut. This is the August 10th race with Queen McKenzie and Sapphire Girl. Queen McKenzie has since come back and run another good second at this level. And I don't want to disrespect her at all because she's run second in 2 straight maiden special weight races, and they were good efforts. And she's 8-5 in the morning line in this race because she's supposed to be, but she's a little tough to trust. She's a former $25,000 maiden claimer. She's been, luck's not the right word, she's been fortunate to catch very, very watered down maiden special weight races. Your horse didn't do any running really in this spot, Ron, but it was her career debut, and I would expect a lot better from her. She's a half to Lord Miles. We know him pretty well around here.
Yeah, I just couldn't trust Queen McKenzie. That's why I put it on top. That's why I did go with the 5. Now, the other horse that's really interesting in here is the 6 Tappett's Mischief. This is a $675,000 daughter of intermission from Whisper Hill Farm, and I think Samantha found a workout that she wants to show.
Yeah, I did, actually.
You did?
And the dam was really nice. She won the game face right here at Gulfstream Park. So Kent Sweezy, here's the old elephant in the room, though. She's outside, just Sylvia down on the inside. You know, there's nothing great going on here, but I thought this was a pretty solid drill. This is the October 5th one, just kind of a maintenance mode. She worked faster. Few things happening here. She only got 3 published works, at least, since what I think might have been a switch to Kent. I don't know, that she was here back in February. And we talked about this yesterday, Ron. This also fits now the 4 because Kent's got Suna, the other first-time starter.
We got that stat we could show. Oh, there it is.
He just never – Kent's a really good trainer, okay? He never wins with first-time starters. It's not the MO of the barn. This is a horse that's supposed to take money. I would expect to be very live on the tote board. There it is right there, both the 4 and the 6. The 4, I think, is a lot distant further behind the 6.
What I liked about, you mentioned those 3 workouts, what I liked about the 3 workouts, they were all half-mile drills.
Yeah?
I like that.
You like that? No
like
5
that.
furlong?
Well, maybe, I mean, if you like a 5 furlong, but I think this horse shows, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But then we got the 5%. Race number 6 this afternoon, mile 70 yards on the all-weather Tapeta, and this one is a claiming for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, scratch 10, 12, And number 13, Samantha's got a late pick 5 ticket she wants to show you, and we'll take a gander at it right now. $32 for her.
Yep, so she's got the single in race 7, and obviously this is different than the Rainbow. It's a different kind of ticket. Race 7 is the 7. Pair of Surprise. Okay, so Pair of Surprise is speed. There's no other speed in that race, so this is a very crafty pick by her. This horse is, the one to Peter race was no good, but A, he's better, B, he's controlling in there, and then Logicals in race 9 and in race number 10. $32.
Yeah, $32 for that one. Getting back to race number 6, did you start it with the Venezuelan Hope like I did,
I
right?
did. I mean, she was nosed out. He was nosed out last time for 12.5. Is going to drop. That was also his first start after winning a 2L. So I think that's significant, Ron. I don't love him in this spot, but I do think the race goes through him. I think he's got a little bit of a class edge on the 3 Vino Santo.
Well, show Vino Santo's replay.
Well, listen, this is the poster child for horses that don't do anything anywhere else. They get to the Tapeta, and they blow way up. And I like what he did here because he broke his maiden for 12.5 on the lead. He showed a new dimension here. It's easier said than done to take on winners, and he did it easily, Ron. He did it with aplomb, if I may. How about that? You like that? Now he's got to rise in class as he goes for a 3 in a row. It wouldn't shock me at all if he's the favorite in this race, but I do think he's going to have to class up a little bit to reach Venezuelan Hope.
Where'd you get the plum?
Like plum?
Oh, I don't get it. Here's the thing. What about the number 6 horse in here? I thought this 6 had a pretty good shot, Ocala Rocket. A little bit of a drop. What I like about this horse, 2 back, showed that good speed. Last time, changed running tactics a little bit. I think the drop to the $8,000 level for who we've been talking about all week, Ronald Coy. Yeah. This horse can run well in here. I think he's going to be a player in here at 8-1.
The only problem I have with him is he's lost twice to Venezuelan Hope, and now there's maybe even a better horse than Venezuelan Hope and Vino Santo, so that's why I maybe faded him a little bit.
Race number 7 this afternoon is a 1 mile and 70-yard to Peter race, which was originally scheduled for 1 mile on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch the 2 General Ledger, the 5 Eldest Son, and the 8 Vegan Viendo out of the race. Brian's late pick 4 starts here in race number 7.
Take a look at it now. It's a $48 ticket, and again, we'll show this ticket. You want to show the race first, guys, the morning line first, because I did whack this around a bit. This is a big deal now. Thank you, guys. Great job for everybody, Robles and the crew upstairs. Really appreciate it. The reason why I did this, because both of these races really turn on their sides a little bit. Abramovich now, our long shot, Ronnie, was 15-1. He's a huge player now. He was a big number on turf. That's not the case anymore. So this is what's going on here. Wide open race. We'll segue in to the late pick 4 here. I don't have a single in this sequence. It's very, very difficult. $54. I was doing Samantha maths here. Thank you, Robles, for fixing that. I had the single in race 8 of the 10. That's what I wanted to use in the Rainbow, but I can't give out a $400 and something $32 ticket. So there we go for 48, Ron. I will tell you what, if you're fortunate enough to get through these 4 races in the Rainbow 6, you're going to get what I feel like is paid pretty handsomely.
Well, we do have videos we want to show of Abramovich and also Lights of Broadway. So we'll start it with Abramovich, who was my long shot all along.
Mine too.
And I was licking my chops when I saw 15-1 on the line on the turf. I don't know what we're going to get. You changed it to 4-1 right now. So
I think this horse is going to get bet really hard because this is on Tapeta. Now, Ronnie and I like this horse. We both picked this horse at 15-1 on the turf. We also have to be honest and candid, Ron. He is stepping way up in class today.
That's why he was 15-1.
Yes, exactly. Well, on the turf especially.
Yeah.
This is a $35,000 maiden claimer. This is not going to scare anybody in the starting gate. And when I say anybody, I mean the entirety of this field. This is a really deep and comprehensive field now, but there's things to like out of this. He does it easily. He did it off a long October layoff, and he was not in for the tag. So Kent, speaking of Sweezy, knows what he had that day, and he was not going to risk him. He took the waiver. Now he's back today, and he's not in for a tag again.
Also, this horse, that was first-time Lasix. And sometimes That's all a horse needs to
Boom.
turn its career around. So that was one of my reasonings with that. Now, the number 6 horse in here, Junction Road, is a horse that you have in second this afternoon for Rohan Crichton.
You know, the only question with him is he ready to roll today? Because if he is, he's clearly the horse to beat. But he hasn't been out since the championship meet at the end of March. His Tapeta races, he's 2 for 6 on the Tapeta. They're a lot better than this group, but we've got a significant layoff to deal with. The last time he ran on Tapeta, he faced Tucson for Todd Pletcher, who got really, really good on the Tapeta.
You know, Brigade Commander's interesting horse. Never tried the Tapeta, so grass. This horse, I always thought, I never had him on top. Always had a Bromwich. Why I like the Bromwich more? Because this horse looks to me like he wants more than a mile on the grass. Now he's going to get a mile 70 on Tapeta. I think that might help this horse this afternoon.
I agree, and it's Jose and it's Edgard off the claim here. This is, you can't not play a ticket without this horse because he's the unknown and he's pretty good anyway. So if he handles Tapeta, you got Mike Dubb here as well, you know, off the claim.
He jumped in and claimed this horse.
Pink and yellow are going on today. Well, that could really improve a horse.
You know, Michael Dubb's so good with the children.
Absolutely.
You know, so
we got to show Lights of Broadway.
Yeah,
because here's the 15-1 on the turf. No. He's a huge player on the Tapeta. How good Steve Claceris going right now? He got Lights of Broadway to win a race. That's how good Steve Claceris is. They should have given him a trophy for that, too, because this horse was on a long losing streak, Ronnie. And this is the first start with Steve, and he is a way, way better horse. And Steve freshened him up a little bit. And this is the first time in forever that he won. And he did it with a pretty fast figure. He got about 4 or 5 lengths of improvement out of this horse. Turf, no way. 0 for 11. Tapeta,
13 for 19 in the money.
Yep, 13 for 19 in the money and 4 wins. You better give him a second look on this surface switch today.
And you know, Samantha's single Paris surprise. Of course, I had lots of interest on the turf because the way it has been playing. But this horse has speed, and we'll see what this does. He translate that Ellis Park speed. He showed speed here at Gulfstream Park. We'll see. He's only tried the synthetic one time or the Tapeta, whatever, and it wasn't a very good performance.
It was not. I think he's a better horse now, and I also think, as you said, and what I'm assuming Samantha thinks, he's going to get loose in here. He's a dangerous horse.
Race number 8 this afternoon is a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta, and this is where the Sunset 6 is going to start. It's the starter optional claimer, if you're not aware of that wager. The last 3 here at Gulfstream Park and the last 3 at Santa Anita. It's been very popular in here, and the 8th race, it doesn't get easier.
No, look at this. Did you know this?
What's 50-something thousand? 93,000.
3-day carryover in this guy here. So Samantha, I was looking at it last night. The Santa Anita races are beasts. Not that our races are any easier either. Don't be surprised if this thing carries again. Great bet for the player.
Now, getting back to this 8th race, Brian, interested to see. You went with Nate the Great in here.
Yeah, so I think, Ron, to me, it's a little bit of a post-position race to me. He did well to draw outside his old pal, Navy Cross. Your horse has a world of speed as well. There's other speed in here, too. Nate the Great with this rating gear and Edgard being patient and looking to his left and seeing what's going on. I think he's going to be in a good spot here. 5 for 10 on the Tapeta. I know he needs to turn the tables a little bit on Navy Cross, but he has beaten him in the past, too.
Well, KC Chief is making his return to action. You know his record on the Tapeta, 18 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds and third. Jose D'Angelo, 18% with the longer than 180-day layoff. MCL Jaramillo, they're going. I like the layoff. I think this horse is fresh. I like this horse before he went on the bench, and I just think he's going to run well.
We're going to figure it out today because he went bad when he was last seen. And in 3 out of his 4 races, he went bad. His good race is just as good as anybody, if not better than anybody in here. You've got a substantial long layoff to deal with. And like I said, when we last saw him, he was not good at all. So we'll see if Jose can get him back to his best, and that means he's a huge threat.
With that said, Nate the Great, you have to use him on your ticket.
Well,
if you either got a single one of these 2 or Navy Cross, or use all 3 or 2. You know, that's just the way it lays out in that particular race. Now we got a video we want to show with Baytown Parfait and Ticking.
You want to look for value in this race? How about Ticking? About the only 2 times I've never picked Ticking, he wins at 41-1 and 22-1. This is a horse right now. You're like, okay, he's going to check back here. We're going to show this whole thing because this is a really, really kind of funky win, really. And you're not supposed to be on the inside on the Tapeta. It's theoretically never the spot to be. Now ticking at 22-1, well, this isn't going to work for him either. He's going to drop back, and he doesn't really like Tapeta. He's under an all-out drive here. He's going to need, he was in for 10 this day. Ticking's just going wrong. Nope. He re-breaks, comes up the fence here, and wins going away. Baytown Parfait was a pretty good second in this spot, too. Ticking, I don't know. Maybe Eddie Plisa Jr., we're going to come out of this video and show you a stat. Maybe Eddie found a new life for Ticking. We know that Tapeta can do that. He's not in for a tag anymore, Ronnie. He's a horse that's going to be a square number in here that if you want to think outside the box a little bit, your buddy Eddie's got a big stat here, too.
Yeah. We're the last out on Tapeta Roots. Look at that, 36%, 319. Eddie does an excellent job. Jose Morelos in the saddle this afternoon. So I think that's a horse that, you want to give a second look to without a doubt, And you're going to get a nice price on that horse because it's all going 7, it's all going 10, or it's all going 5, especially on the rainbow. Now, going to race number 9, this is 7 furlongs, and this is where the Coast to Coast is going to pick up, and that, of course, is another race we have with races from here and races from Santa Anita. Really nice bet. 7 furlongs, allowance optional claimer. These are state-bred fillies and mares. Now, there you see it right there. So we got 1, 2 from odds. We got 9 and 10, and we got 4, 6, and 7, and that's done in 2 hours and 3 minutes.
I like that.
How'd you like that?
Yeah, it might even be done in an hour and 57 minutes. I don't know.
I thought I had it right. Addition, as you can see, was not my strong suit today.
This paid astronomical yesterday with the carryover.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out starting there. So getting back to this race here. Now, Broderie ran off like an international good thing last time out. When Brian and I did this show yesterday, I went 3 deep in this race with him. I was thinking that this horse might bounce. I don't know why he scratched out today. Whatever the reasoning is, that's not for us to figure out. But he was going to be the international single, wasn't he?
She was going to be
and
a lot of people, me included, had to rework a whole lot of things with her out today.
So, you got.
You go ahead, because we're going to show the video of Foggy Note as well. You got her on top.
Yeah. So Foggy Note, I just thought was a logical contender in here. Try to clear things up at 7 furlongs after returning from the freshing. Rallied, to finish, on the Seal Money track to come with a neck for spring. And that was a 10-1 upset that day. So I just Foggy Note can run okay in here today.
She ran very well in this spot, as did Vivi Get Your Guns, who's going to close late for Skylar Spanabel, who put on a good ride.
Yeah.
The problem is this race was run on a muddy main track.
Right.
Kind of sort of came from nowhere for a few of these horses as well. And you just don't know what you're going to get on dry land today. The weather looks great here today. There's Vivi Get Your Guns back there. Skylar put on. Watch this horse, Ronnie. She's literally bouncing off the wood on the inside. You're going to see this through the stretch. She literally hit the fence right there, and she's still coming. So this was a good effort by both of these horses. Just a filly did not want to let Foggy Note by. Could have been a little H there, a little bit of a hang. They're big threats in here. And everything, obviously, is probably cut in half in terms of a price with just a ginormous scratch of Broderie.
Okay, now we'll get to your top pick in here. And you, of course, scratched into
Yes.
Militia. I had some interest in there and bumped this horse up a little bit. And you and Steve Kusaris better go and have drinks tonight if he wins all these races that you picked him in.
No doubt about that, because I've got him on top a lot today. Her last 2 dirt races, she's won by a combined 15 lengths, including a romp here to break her maiden by 10 1/4. So she's a huge strat. The inside in a big field, maybe not ideal, but she's a player.
And you got Dave Brady. He brought this horse up Cannoli, and I'm talking about 8. She's My Lady Luck. You go back, this horse has run okay in spots.
Yeah.
I don't know how to translate Colonial. Samantha was of the opinion that Colonial form sort of held up a little bit. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, she was second to Fetty in her last start here at Gulfstream, albeit just a 3-year-old race.
Right.
I think she's probably going to be a pretty stiff favorite in here with Edgar. They tend to bet these Brady horses, too.
Yeah, they absolutely do. So that's race number 9. And being a 10-race card, we'll go to race 10. Now, this one, a mile and a 16th on the turf, now to be run at 1 mile and 16th on the Tapeta. It's a claimer. Fillies 3-year-olds, fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 in life. Scratch the 4, what a knockout. Tintaroja on paper is the one to beat. Do you trust it? No. You know what I mean? You don't trust that horse. But Brian, we talked about this, and this is where you got to go deep. If you have 2-3 singles, I'd go all in this race, almost all.
Yeah, you could come up with a lot of horses in here. This race really gets turned around now that we're off the turf and onto the Tapeta.
Oh, you did Alex?
Yeah, we can
right?
show it real quick. Yeah, because the one I want to show here is the 7 horse, Let's Dance Again, who, wouldn't shock me at all if Let's Dance Again ends up going favored in here. This is her race, actually, last time. And she's not in a good spot here. You don't really ever want to be in between horses, especially on the backstretch. And she's got to kind of sort of get out of a little sticky situation here. And to her credit, and Lionel does a nice job, he knows what's going on here. He doesn't want to get stuck behind. So he pushes her on. He probably had to use her a little earlier than he wanted to. And you can see, even right now, maybe she's not really ideally traveling great, but she kind of runs to the breach a little bit, and she wins easily in this 17.5-2L, Ron.
Yeah.
She was out of her element on turf, at least off her turf races. Tapeta is right up her alley today. She makes sure you find this horse if you're playing the Rainbow, okay? She's a giant move up.
Now, let's show the race with Tinta Roja and Trompetta. This, maybe I hope you make that decision. Do you single a horse like this, or you go 5 deep?
Wow, here's Tinta Roja and here's Trompetta. They raced together on 9/14. It was the Tapeta race, so that's good. Tinta Roja, voided claim 2 starts back. She's run well. There's no issues there. She just kind of, doesn't it feel, Ron, she should have more wins, or she kind of just leaves you wanting more?
Do you make a case that she was, on the inside during that race with, we don't want to be all the time, and she runs an okay second? I mean, she had to tip out. So.
She tipped out. That's the only thing. Me personally, when I kind of chart the paths on the Tapeta, I don't really care where you are other than the stretch.
Yeah.
Because we can see him just kind of sort of go quicksand in the stretch. She's really, to me, on the best part of the track here. She is running on late. Her and Trompetta are very, very similar horses. How can you use one and not the other,
Yeah, I mean, she's not great shakes. It's not when we go, I'm getting out of this mess with a single in the last.
No.
That is not the case this afternoon. So I believe that's it, Brian. I think we got them all in, didn't we?
We did. We got everything. Even Ronnie's got Pemberley in second. She's Edgard and D'Angelo at a place. So come on.
I thought this horse could run okay. So Pemberley's not been bad. And if you look at, here's the thing. Synthetic, 23 starts, 1 win, 407 seconds, whatever it is in it. So she's not a winning type.
Not in the least.
Not in the least. Well, that's it. We did it. Even though I didn't know what time it was halfway through it, but it doesn't matter. And I can't add that rate. But Brian bailed me out as usual. Now, we don't know where to put all the awards we get for the lightning round, but we'll muddle through it and see what we got here.
Well, as we always do, it's mandatory day. So that's first and foremost. Videos, tickets, they're all out there. We adjusted and played for off the turf. That was kind of the feel that we figured. So there you go. I'm hoping for $500,000. That's today. It's never too early to look ahead to next week because they drew the Sire
You burned
Stakes.
the midnight oil, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Second leg of the Florida Sire Stallion Stakes are next Saturday. And,
Full field.
Full fields. 23 horses were entered in these 2 races, the Affirmed and the Susan's Girls. We'll stretch them out to 7 furlongs. We get to see Mythical, up in Saratoga doing her thing, the Grade 3 winner. But here is the line for the Affirmed, and this is a doozy, Ron.
Yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, Robles and the crew upstairs. Thanks so much, guys.
See that horse on the outside there? That's me.
Kozolai? Okay, the turf horse for D'Angelo.
Speed on the grass, turning back
There you
to
go.
7/8, bang.
Big move for Ronnie.
Yeah, that's my move.
Boy, you could go so many different ways in here. You could make a case.
Who'd you make the favorite, by the way?
Cassie,
Cassie.
down on the inside. Won by 8 lengths in his only dirt start. Then he was in graded stakes at Saratoga. Quickly to the Susan's Girl. This was a lot easier, at least on who's going to be the favorite. Mythical could be 2-5 in this race, to be perfectly honest with you.
They bounced off those 2 incredible performances. The win here was just amazing. So, the one to beat. This guy finding strength. It looks like he could run well. He was just beating ahead,
Absolutely. In the first
the winner
leg.
didn't come back,
Did
right?
not come back. So, no doubt about it. Love Lake Lucy was third in that race for Safi and my racehorse. Coast to Coast, Sunset. We've got it all today.
Right.
A lot to look forward to.
The
awesome Mr. Jordan. We can't forget that. This was a real difficult race, too.
Lure him in, right?
I think so. Steel Sunshine, they always bet him. He's back on short rest. He's got Lasix. Hades trying to find it again. Who's better than Lightning Tones and the Castro Barn?
Boy,
so it's a fun one, too.
Steel Sunshine has gone the other
Yeah,
way in
little
the
bit.
last few. I mean, I know grass and all that, but I just think that Luraman is absolutely the one to beat there. But that's the beauty of it. I think we'll talk about that. Classic of a horse on the outside, an interesting horse,
Yeah.
too, in the Mr. Jordan. That's an overnight handicap. So 3 stakes on Saturday. Full fields like, the whole card.
Without a doubt. It's a great card. 12 race card, championship meet feel kind of card to it. Sunset's got a double or triple carryover. It's going to get a lot more than 93,000. I promise you that. Here you can see it here. It's an hour and 57 minutes today. This is the coast to coast. I'm sorry, no carryover there. They paid that huge yesterday.
Right.
Sunset, yep, coming up.
93,000.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
As you always mention, retail only, very important. Dollar minimum, 15% takeout in there. Brian, what's your best bet?
It's 25. Race 2, the 5, Authentic Wave. I'm hoping Steve K has a real day.
Let's take a look at my best bet in here, and it comes in race number 8. It's KC Chief. I'm taking a shot there.
Good one.
Long shot today for you, Brian.
Well, it's Abramovich, but he's out because it's off the turf, and he's not going to be 15-1.
Same with me, so it's just a repeat. You know, we were both thinking the exact same way with getting a price on this horse. But, hey, you might still get 4-1 on him. You made him 4-1, right?
I did, yeah, and he's on the Tapeta. Maybe you can be some leverage for you.
So those adjusted odds are online. I suggest check all of that out before you put your Rainbow Six ticket together. It's going to kick off in race number 5. Anything else, Brian, before we turn it over to Mr. Pete Aiello?
I think we better send it up to him.
All right, here you go, Pete.
A second chance.
Thanks to you, the owners, trainers, breeders, and every supporter, you've created a ripple effect of